I have rampant ADHD.
I see.
Meal prep is almost out of the question.
Yeah.
I'd have to have my shit together.
Understood.
Well, maybe for a week, Connor. You don't talk to yourself that way. You say.
I thought you were going to tell him for a week he doesn't have ADHD.
You don't have that anymore.
Damn.
I mean, we'll never know. This is the last time I'll ever speak to you. But for a week, try to practice positive self-talk.
Welcome to Oops, All Segments, the very best podcast hitting your eardrums at this very moment. I'm Kevin.
I'm Thomas, and today we're here with special guest. You know him from the photos he took of us, Connor McBride. Welcome, Connor.
Howdy.
From the photos he took of us. You know him from being tagged in our Instagram, in our personal
the
Instagram
other
posts.
Side of the Canon. And the Kodak Yellow, as we call him. Let's go. Connor, what's up? How are you?
Well, first of all, it's definitely Nikon, but...
Okay.
You know.
Nikon. Yeah, Nikon Yellow. Nikon Yellow it is.
We got the 1% on the show, and he admits it. He's got a Nikon. Yeah. He's got a thick lens. He can see everything, kind of X-ray specs. How's it going, Connor? What's up, man?
Not too bad.
Is there anything new in your life that you want to tell people about? I know you were just sick.
Yeah, I did just get over.
Do you want to let the people know that you were sick?
Yeah, I got over an unfortunate head cold. It was terrible.
Okay.
But otherwise, not too much new. I've been just on that grind, if you will. Just working.
That grind, skateboarding, making coffee, sort of.
Yes.
Rounding out the edges of woodworking.
Yeah.
Various sorts of.
When that side hustle starts to feel like an entree, dude, that's a fucking. It's a 3-course hustle meal, and yum.
Thomas, what's new with you, bud?
I was visited by my mother for Mother's Day.
That's exciting.
And she took me to task. She judged my home, my living situation, my city. She tricked me into purchasing her brunch on the Sunday.
That was Mother's Day, right? Just to be clear.
And on the Saturday, she saw my show, and I got the whole audience to write a little Mother's Day card for her. I said, write something in here for Mama. Write something in here for Mama. And they
how did that go?
Tell that what I really wanted was for them to tell her how cool I was. And so all the notes in the card said, you have an awesome son. Congrats on having a cool son. And that meant a ton.
I have to say... Connor, I don't know how much of Thomas's work you're familiar with, but that is high level impressive that you are able to get so many people to lie so vehemently to someone as trustworthy as your mother, no less.
Yeah.
And so for them to tell, I'm sure, what did they talk about how cool you were? They said you were like attractive,
it was kind of
funny.
They didn't say attractive even in the lies. They couldn't go that far, but they did. Yeah. So anyway, I'm mixed on the whole trip. She was fine.
That's what I say when I do mushrooms, by the way.
She could have brought the heat, as it were. It was sort of a low-key snore of a trip. So
you're now you
barely,
didn't enjoy your mother's
visit? I kept nodding off mid-meal. I was like, can we talk about something other than me being your son? Like,
it sounds a little bit like you were kind of driving the conversation that way as well, because you sort of take a lot of pride in it. I was
so bored. It was like, what is this?
I don't understand.
My aunt was there as well. And even she couldn't pump the juice in. sucked.
What do you expect?
How are you, Kevin?
I'm fine, man. I'm fine. I feel like, it's just, I think like, Thomas is a butt. Thomas is a butt. Thomas is a butt. Sorry.
Diss track.
I don't have a full
At least
30
you didn't
minute.
accuse me of being a pedophile. That's what I was expecting as soon as the rap beat dropped.
I was about to.
Thomas, how do you feel about Millie Bobby Brown?
Yeah.
How do I feel? She's a very talented,
Just checking in quickly.
talented young woman, and look, I
young
wish her
being
the
the
best.
operative term. Yeah.
I wish her the
okay.
best.
Good. No, that's I'm doing good. You know, the rap beef is high.
Yeah.
Drake and Kendrick had kind of went head to head.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite moment that is sort of being under discussed in this little rap beef, and just to be clear here, for the uninitiated, Drake, one of the most famous rappers of all time, got into like a hip hop rap beef with a bunch of artists, and specifically Kendrick Lamar, who's also one of the largest hip hop artists of all time. And they sort of went at it, and Kendrick accused him of being a pedophile, which is sort of
You think that Drake is still in character from Degrassi? Like he's just like, I still am pursuing
Wheelchair
and
Jimmy.
dating teenagers. That's kind of my whole
He
thing.
thinks that that's normal. Yeah.
That's how my career started. So
I expect as much. But my favorite part is that when this all started, J. Cole was also involved in this. Jermaine Cole, another very talented rapper, and J. Cole put out a song that one of the songs that sort of started this all. But then he also, before Kendrick and Drake got into it with each other, Drake dissed Kendrick, and then J. Cole dropped a diss track on Kendrick. And then J. Cole went on stage the next night after he put it out and was like, Kendrick's actually one of the best artists ever, and I take it all back. And he retracted the diss track. He took it off streaming services. The title of the album it was on was Might Delete Later, which is the funniest, like, and then...
He changed his name from J. Cole to J.K. The man's kidding. It was just a goof,
Simmons or
Kendrick.
otherwise. And he did that. And then everyone clowned him. It was like, that's so not hip hop. How lame. And then after Kendrick came at Drake, everyone was like, no, man, J. Cole was right. He was totally right. It was didn't do anything wrong. So
sometimes
anyway.
you got to know when to surrender.
Yeah, that's what's been keeping my mind busy outside of working on the Antipodes, which when this comes out is opening in only a week or two, I think. We open on May 29th. I'm getting a plug in early. I'm getting a plug in those first 5 to 10 minutes. Nice hot plug. That come see the Antipodes. The links will be in the description. I'm acting in it. Thomas's father George is directing it. I bet you Connor's going to take a picture or two of it at some point, and it's a good show.
Yeah.
It's a great show. It's a fantastic show. Andy Baker's a great writer. Anyway, moving on. Do you want to spin the wheel, T? Get a warm up.
Spin the wheel. Let's give Connor a taste of the show as it actually feels. And here we go. Woo! Now, we got one we already had, so I'm spinning the wheel again. And it happened again.
Okay.
So let me spin it a third time. And here we go.
A second wheel for the third spin.
Yes. Lifestyle change. Kevin and Thomas must both commit to one lifestyle change they will see through and provide an update on. Should last about a week, ideally between records. So we are recording again in about
immediately
20
after this. So we'll have to touch base on our next recording, maybe.
Yeah.
So 2 episodes.
Connor, I would love your input on some lifestyle changes that Kevin and I could make for the next week. How can we improve ourselves?
We could even call you, Connor, if you want to be a part of this and bring you into this lifestyle change. Is there something you've been thinking about making a lifestyle change with?
I have not put that much thought into it, but for some insight, I guess I need to know what's your guys' average day like?
Yeah, that's a good question. T, do you want to go first? Because you probably have a slightly more regimented life.
Oh
God.
PM, and then I'm kind of I'm bed rotting for the next few hours.
Rotting?
Yeah, I got bed rot.
Are you rotting in bed or are you rotting?
I'm rotting.
Okay.
I am rotting in bed on TikTok and Instagram.
I see. Sort of
liking models' posts. And then around 8 p.m., I have a good long cry. That's kind of my cardio.
Is that what you call performing at Drunk Shakespeare? Or
Drunk
your
Shakespeare?
cardio is good long cry. The heaving.
It works your core, man. It works your core. And then around 11 p.m. I go on what's that? It's called sort of like the anonymous video chat app.
Oh, Omegle.
And I try to find guys jacking off so I can shame them.
You search for that specifically.
Well, there's a lot of them out there, and it seems like they didn't exactly have strong father figures, did they? So I'm gonna be that for them. Okay. Eyes red and puffy from tears. I tell them,
like
you
the strongest father figures.
You put that away, sir. I'm trying to browse the web. I only have a few more hours until I awaken.
Wow. Okay, so I do have an idea of how you can change your lifestyle a little bit. Instead
That's helpful.
I'm surprised, honestly, that you could think of something. But yeah, go on.
No. It's actually it's pretty clear. It's pretty obvious. Instead of looking for the people jacking off on Omegle, be the change you want to see in the world. I think you should be one of
Jack the dick that you want to.
I have to publish pornography this week. And what's Kevin's challenge?
My challenge is my sort of day is that, I'm a busy guy. I have 2 restaurants. I wake up pretty early in the morning. I check my phone. That often dictates the tone of the day, whether I have to run off and solve an emergency quickly, or if I have to if I get a little bit of free time to kind of do what I need to get done in the morning. And then usually I'll hit the restaurant. Usually these days I'm going to Wholesale Supply Club to purchase some restaurant supplies. I'll go to Dreamland. I'll be there for a little while. I might check in with St. James Burger if I've got time or if something doesn't come up. And then I'm usually home around, it depends on the afternoon at some point. And I might, get dinner ready, do a home task, do something in preparation for a rehearsal that I often have in the evening. Then I'll go to rehearsal for the Antipodes. And then I'll come home and I might play some video games. I might smoke some marijuana and I go to sleep. Those are usually the sort of things that I do. That's sort of my normal day. So, so Tom, just to be clear, Thomas is going to publish pornography.
I got to jack off on cam. And then what is Kevin's task for the week?
Very normal day for me.
You said you solve emergencies?
Yeah.
Cause them.
Oh, you want me to fuck some shit up in my own places of business, or yeah. Okay. Yeah, be the change I have to deal with in the world. I could do that. I could sort of fire some people, Nillard.
Oh, good. I'm glad that.
That's you've directly caused a loss of income for about 4 people by making this bit happen. So I'm going to go into work tonight. I'm going to fire half of the team. I don't know why that's 4 people. That's not accurate at all, but I'm going to let go of everybody who works for me. Okay. Figure it out.
Oh no.
Nice.
Oh no.
I'm going to blow up my life.
I don't feel good about either of those things.
Well, I'm pretty pumped for mine. Connor, what's going on? What's going on in your life?
What's your day today? What's a normal day in Connor's life?
How can we sort of set up?
Also, just as a note, boys, I am sipping into vacation mode right now.
And he's got the shirt. He's got the vibe.
Yeah. I have sunglasses nearby usually.
Yeah, Kevin's so relaxed. It's like he's trying to have a conversation with my mom and aunt. He's basically fucking in REM cycle right now. He's so sleepy.
Oh yeah.
Connor,
okay, so what's a normal day for you, Connor?
Well, so my day job is I'm a truck driver. Not like long haul, but like I drive around the city making
just for
deliveries.
Like the Freedom Convoy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said, I'm on that grind. That's mostly what's going on with me.
Mm-hmm.
So
have you been thinking about making a lifestyle change? Is there something you're kind of like disgruntled about your personal day-to-day life with? Air your grievances on our show.
Give us something to work with here, man. We're not.
I mean,
psychic.
my biggest grievances are Winnipeg drivers.
Sure.
Okay.
To a deliberate T-bone. That's
I'm saying, I think you need to drive more recklessly. I'm assuming you don't own the truck, so you might as well just write it off, right?
That's fair. That's fair.
For the week. traffic lights are just a state of mind, and you will speed through them, get tickets on the cam roads.
Is there a universe where it's a worthwhile idea for us to commit to an actual lifestyle change for the sake of the bit? That isn't obviously like publishing pornography or firing my steam. Should we try to do something sincere?
Yeah, we could drop the mask for a second. And this is honestly, hang on though. This is to me. This is why Kevin Rambrand's one of the realest motherfuckers you'll ever meet.
Now it sucks.
No, because we're all smiling, we're all having a good time, and this man drops the hammer, he brings in the sincerity.
That's such a weird way of calling me a wet blanket.
enough giggles, guys. Let's talk. Let's actually, and he turns the chair backwards and he says, let's break it down for real.
Hey, you kids.
Yeah.
Let's wrap. Let me level with you.
Yeah.
All right. No, I think
you're right. I think you're right.
I do think it might be fun to try something legitimately. We got to commit to these bits a little bit more here, T. Do you want to try and like go vegetarian for a week? Do you want to try and like
don't want to do that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's tough. That would be hard for me as well.
He likes his meat.
He does like his meat.
I really don't want to give up any pleasures. What's so hard about
maybe
this?
we add something then. Maybe we add something.
I get to do even more shit.
You know what? Fuck me, I guess.
No, I like it. I just am so scared that I'm gonna have to like take one day off of playing video games. I'm like genuinely nervous.
So the joke changes were all very chaotic. Maybe illegal, but is there like a small element of chaos that you guys can add to your?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Thomas, maybe you could like show nut online, but not your full shaft.
Just my leavings.
Oh my God! Don't call them leavings. Don't call your discharge leavings. Never do that.
Okay. How about this? How about I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read every day this week. I'm gonna work on my book.
Okay.
And that sometimes I neglect to do that, but I'm gonna say a 20-page a day minimum.
Holy shit! All right.
My book.
All right. And to be clear, that's Mein Kampf you're currently working on, or?
Yeah.
The first time you read it, it's a little dense, but when you go back 2, 3, 4 times, you start to really see the points he's making.
You're on cycle 4, I think, right?
Yeah. How many?
He's well published on his Mein Kampf research.
Okay, so I'll.
That's pretty good. You'll read. I wonder if here's I'd like to do something that would impact my diet. I feel like I've been eating very unhealthily. Is there some guidance I might be able to get from you guys on something that is achievable? I live a very busy life, so I have to be able to has to be something I can grab a bunch of and then deal with, or something like that. I can't commit to cooking something every day or something like that, or preparing even. But yeah. Meal
prep.
Okay. I could try to do meal prep for a week. I could try to prepare.
It's really just one day of work. If you get it all done, you make some meals for the week.
Okay. I'm going to try and achieve. It's not quite like a daily routine thing, but it impacts your daily routine. I'm going to try and do meal prep this week. I'm going to try and do meal prep. I'll try and prep something on Sunday, and I'll try and make it last for a bunch of days.
Make something really easy to eat during the day on the go, like a big thing of soup, or
if I may, Connor, you're sort of like a bit of you seem like a physically well-maintained person. It seems like you work out and eat well. I don't know if those things are accurate. Are they true?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay,
no,
you fat piece of shit.
You're more jacked than Jill, as we like to say.
Yeah. We assume you're more jacked than Jill, but
of course, yeah.
Do you meal prep?
No, I don't. I have rampant ADHD.
I see. Yeah. I get it.
Meal prep is almost out of the question.
Yeah.
I'd have to have my shit together.
Understood.
Well, maybe for a week, Connor, you don't talk to yourself that way, huh? Maybe just for the week, you actually be kind to yourself and you say...
I thought you were going to tell him for a week he doesn't have ADHD.
You don't have that anymore. That's pretend. And
how don't you tell yourself a different truth?
Connor's going to... we'll never know. This is the last time I'll ever speak to you. But for a week, try to practice positive self-talk.
Yeah.
Try to include and this is something I learned. This is real. So instead of saying like, oh, why am I talking to myself so negatively all the time? Say the negative thing, sure. Then add an and then next to that and maybe say something that you're proud of that you did that day. And try to incorporate that for the week. See how it fits.
I'm gonna be so proud of myself for purposefully T-boning someone.
Yeah.
It did sound like somebody got T-boned in
the Freedom Convoy, but I
did. Yeah.
Go me.
All right. What a segment. We've all got stuff to do. We'll check in. We'll see how it went.
Meal
in
prep.
2 episodes.
Yeah.
But next, we should take a little break.
What the fuck? Are you okay?
I burped and hiccuped at the same time.
I was gonna say that was like in and out.
Yeah.
I don't know what that noise was.
No burger. Yeah. In and out, no burger.
Yeah. The old in and out.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
You sure?
Take a break. I'll take an antacid, and then we'll meet Uncle Acid. That's Kevin.
Awful joke.
How Star Wars is it?
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Josiah.
And we're the co-hosts of a weekly podcast called How Star Wars Is It?
On our show, we rate and review things on a scale of 1 to 10, but not of how good or bad they are, but of how Star Wars they are.
We've covered lots of movies, from The Matrix to Guardians of the Galaxy to all the Star Wars films, but we've also reviewed things like pumpkin spice lattes, Halloween, moving, burgers.
We've got over 150 episodes, and you don't have to listen to them all. You can just find the ones that look interesting and listen to those. There's no plot, there's no continuity. You don't have to worry about that. Okay? So if that sounds fun to you, tune in to How Star Wars Is It every Monday, wherever you get your podcasts.
How Star Wars Is It?
How Star Wars Is It? We love you, and may the 4th be with you.
And we are back. It's Uncle Acid here with Antacid and Connor. Connor, do you have a segment for us that maybe is not as problematic as the last segment, but maybe it is. Maybe it is. The last time you gave us a segment, it was the Epstein flight log segment.
Yeah, that was last episode, I think. So.
It was the episode with Advanced Banzo.
Okay.
Yeah, it was at least 2 episodes ago. I knew that was going to be chaotic. I felt bad listening to it.
I felt good doing it, so we're fine.
So my segment is a public apology.
It's due time. It's high time. I think
finally
this is episode 81.
Somebody owns up to their shit. Dakin Amir didn't really do this.
No, yeah, nobody will apologize. So is it
Jeez.
Are we what's the deal?
Yeah. So I did bring a segment.
Nice.
It sounds like you have paperwork in front of you.
I sure do, yeah.
I love it.
It is in front of me. I have a D&D character sheet.
Oh, nice.
I believe that you both play.
Yes.
We
partake.
So my segment is called Character Assassination. Now, Kevin, you're a DM for a Dungeons and Dragons podcast.
That's correct. Yes.
I myself am also a DM, not for a podcast, but just, Yeah. And so I can empathize with the plight of the DM, right? Like you spend time making something serious and deep and
thoughtful,
and then you've got like players that come in and they're just silly and goofy, and they
and they name their characters things like anus,
like oh yeah, I was gonna say something like butthole drat, but like
yeah.
That's a pretty cool just name, actually.
Out of
butthole drat,
right?
It's like the main character in BioShock Infinite, Booker DeWitt. I'm butthole drat.
It sounds like butthole da rat. Like
that's
he's
how
a
I've
rat.
been trying to pronounce it. I see an apostrophe between the D and the R. Sorry, continue.
I like that. It sounded cooler than I thought it would. But yeah, so you guys are gonna you're essentially gonna make a character together. We're gonna try to make amends of the DM player struggle.
Okay.
But one of you, Kevin,
yes,
you are going to take the role of the serious player who's trying to make the DM happy.
Okay.
And Thomas, you are going to try to make this character as bad as possible.
Sure. Love it.
And so I present. Do you guys have D20s with you by chance?
I do somewhere. Yes,
I can see one in the studio. Oh. Give me 2 seconds. I'll go get one.
Of course.
Yeah. I'm here too, guys. I'm going to use the digital D20 so that we don't have dead air. There's a dice roller app here.
Yeah, I should have warned you guys. Sorry about that.
That's okay. No. This is great. I'm pretty bad at D&D in general, so this is a great role for me. Okay.
Well, I think this might be okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a pencil with me. Oh, there we go. So I'm gonna give you guys two bits of this character at a time, and I want you guys to roll to see who gets to choose which one you do, and the other person kind of gets assigned.
I see.
So, for example, we can start with the class and the race of the character.
All right.
And so you'll roll a d20 each, and whoever wins gets to decide which one you want to do. The other one gets assigned.
Great. Okay,
sounds
perfect.
Good. Okay, I rolled a d20 and I got a 2. Not great.
Wow, I got a 7, so I win with a 7.
You picked the cool stuff.
Thomas, do you want to pick the class or the race, and do you want to go before or after Kevin?
I will pick the class after Kevin.
Okay, so I'm picking race.
Yeah.
Picking race. Okay. Do I know anything about what the DM wants for this world or anything like that, or no?
No, this character is completely up to you. You want to try to just make it as cool and serious as possible, right?
Yeah. You know, I think like one of the most kind of noble, serious. I'm picking race, right? One of the most noble, serious, kind of well documented in D&D lore as being sincere characters that don't like to goof around very much. High elves. I think we're going to become a high elf. Yeah, I think we're going to be a high elf.
All right,
and not high in the sense of marijuana high in the sense of
see.
High class. No,
we'll see. No, that would be hack even for me. As for the class, I am going to say this is a barbarian. I feel like that's a good kind of class for just fucking shit up. Doesn't really fit with the race too well, but also just going to charge in there. No questions asked.
That's a fun contrast. I'll give you that. I think it's a fun balance.
I do like that.
A high elf barbarian seems like a good time.
And
if you're at home, consider using this as a D&D character for yourselves.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say I very well may use this as. So the other plight of the DM is that I'm a forever DM. So if I ever get the chance to play D&D, this may be my character. So please, Kevin,
in the one chance, maybe we'll find a way we'll get Connor to guest on What We Do in the Basement, and he'll play this character. He doesn't get to have his own character.
A one shot where that would be great.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
There's an
no.
idea.
Oh no.
There's an idea. Okay, so what do we got?
So we can do the name now. So I'm gonna need a first and a last name from you guys.
We're rolling for this as well.
Absolutely.
I got a 17.
Uh-oh.
What you
I
doing,
got a
baby?
17 as well, but I have a +1 to name. So
You have a +1 to names because your name is alliterative.
I'm proficient in name.
I rolled this again, and I got a 7.
Okay, this time, Daddy got a 5.
Okay, so it's me. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna choose the first name because I feel like it's pretty. I mean, no matter what, honestly, I don't think it's very hard to make it goofy. But I think like,
do you want to choose it after me or before me?
Oh, there's a great idea. In order to make it as serious as possible, I'm gonna go after you. Thank you for notifying me that that's an option.
Yes.
You will go first, Thomas, and you will make it the last name.
The last name will be the Neutered.
Is it like as one
like
word,
as a title?
Or is that a
as
title?
Sort of, it's a title, but surname something the Neutered.
I see. The Neutered. That's pretty good. Oh man.
Oh no.
This is hard. This is hard to make something in front of the Neutered as a name, you know. I couldn't just pick something like Blessed, or Blessed are the Neutered, or something like that.
It could be a tragic or a spiritual backstory. You know, you never know.
But I think maybe we'll go with I think it has to be a name where they go by their first name most of the time, and then it's sort of like
Share the Neutered.
Yeah, exactly. So I think something kind of that works
Bjork,
on its own.
The Neutered, yes.
Yeah, it has some like cachet to it. I think is sort of intimidating. I think, I think we're gonna go with like Cassius the Neutered.
I think if you make the first name like long enough, no one's gonna say the full title, you know?
Okay. Okay. Damn it. Hold on a second. Cassius Stefarian. No, that's silly. Never mind. Stick with Cassius. Fuck it. God damn it.
I was trying to get you. Yeah, Cassius was good.
You almost had me, you weaselly shit.
But still, I think you kind of win that one because people are just going to call him Cassius. They're not going to say the full title every time.
Oh, also, if they're an intimidating character, which we haven't gotten to yet, but if they are, no one's going to want to point out that their name is the Neutered. You know. So anyway, there we are. We're there. Cassius the Neutered.
Actually, that was a good segue because now we're going to move on to our stats, and I have 4d6s. So to roll D&D stats, you roll 4d6s, and don't use the lowest of those numbers.
Right. You drop the lowest
so
one.
I'm going to roll 2 at a time.
Okay.
And you are going to pick which number you want to use.
Okay.
And which stat you want to put it in.
Gotcha.
Great.
And we have the normal 5, I'm assuming?
Yes. Yeah. For the uninitiated, we have strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. And for a barbarian, you're going to want to prioritize strength and constitution.
Okay. Okie dokie. All right. Well, I guess we'll let you roll those. So I'm hoping for high strength. I'm hoping for high con. Thomas, is there something you're kind of going to pump up? Or maybe you don't want to let me know.
I'll reveal in good time. With it being a high elf, it's confusing. Like any stat kind of works, but.
I was going to say also that this is kind of like a nice little like repeat, like you know, I know Connor, as a fan of What We Do in the Basement, was upset when you decided to depart from the show, and so this is sort of a way of him kind of scratching a certain itch, as it were, getting you and I to talk shop.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I've got an 11 and an 8.
An 11 and an 8. Okay, so now we roll to decide who's designing these, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and my dice fell on the floor.
I got a 13.
And I got Is that a 16 or an 18? It doesn't matter because it's higher than yours. 18.
It sure is, yeah.
And sorry, you said this was a what and a what? An 8 and an 11?
An 8 and 11.
Do I pick them
So
both?
No, you get to decide which one you want to use and where you want to put it, and the one that's left over is what Thomas is going to.
Gotcha. 8 and 11. Okay. I want my strength and my con to be high. I am going to put my 8 at charisma. I'm going to put my 8 at charisma, so they're not very interesting. This is a strategic play. I'm trying to block off something that Thomas might try to pump up.
That was big for me.
Yeah. This is a strategic
an 11 right down the middle, not too special. I gotta put it in strength. I like the idea of being a barbarian that's a little stronger than average, but not really that strong in the grand scheme of things.
Just a guy who gets pretty angry,
doesn't
right?
even get right, not even a plus 1, right? Just a plus 0 to strength, but almost there.
Unfortunately, I am positive that a high elf does not have a boost of strength. So.
Yeah, that sucks butts.
This character's fast guy in his like little elf school class, so he's like, I'm gonna
sounds
be
like
a barbarian.
He's becoming Mr. Furious from Mystery Men.
Yeah,
Ben
he's
Stiller's
becoming
character.
Mr. Wonderful.
Kevin O'Leary. Shark Tank.
I am a high elf Mr. Wonderful.
We now have a 12 and a 14.
A 12 and a 14. Okay, we're rolling for the 12 and 14 here.
Got an 11.
I got a 15, bitch.
Nice.
All right. 14's a pretty good one. 14 is a pretty high one. I'm going to take the 14 and I'm going to put it on fucking... Oh, I want to do con because it's so good, but I want to save it maybe. I'm going to do dex. I'm going to put the 14 on dex. I'm going to make them nimble. Okay. I'm going to make them... So they're not going to be very strong, but they're going to be quick. So maybe there's something there I can maybe try and use dex-based attacks to try and maybe kind of make their...
and the other one's a 12?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's not low enough. I think I'm going to bank on getting a really bad
You want a cooker, eh?
A really bad option coming soon. I might not.
You might win the roll-off next.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly.
So if I get like a 7.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the 12 in IQ, intelligence.
All right. Which is pretty high for a barbarian.
Yeah, it's a pretty smart barbarian, pretty weak barbarian as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm scared here. Sort of ideally, these are drastic numbers. Ideally, we get a really big
really
one.
Exciting to have that. Yeah.
And I want is 10 and 10.
We've had a lot of middle of the road numbers, which is how it goes sometimes.
I hadn't considered this. I just got a 12 and a 12, so maybe let's re-roll the...
Let's re-roll. Create the drama.
Let's spice it up here. Let's spice it up here. You know?
Actually...
Yeah.
I'm going to re-roll once. One of these is going to be a 12.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha. And so you guys are going to roll off and decide if you want to use the 12 or...
Take the new one.
The mystery number.
I like that.
Fun,
I like that.
Fun.
I like that. Okay. I'll put some epic music on here while we do this.
Yeah, because we have Constitution and Wisdom left.
I got a fucking nat 20, baby.
Oh, shit.
I crit. I'm going to take the mystery number.
I think Kevin should get to know what the number is in secret and then choose with his nat 20. That's like...
Well, that would have been great, but... There are only 2 left, so the 12 is going in what he doesn't pick.
Sure.
Right. I guess, yeah. I'm going to take... So the other one's a 12. You're right. I'm going to hold off the mystery number for the con. So we're going to put the 12 on the wisdom. Yeah.
Okay.
So, decently wise character. And how do we do for our con?
That's a 13.
Still pretty good, but not remarkable.
So that kind of worked out for you.
Yeah. It sort of did.
All right. So we have 11 strength, 14 dexterity, 13 constitution, 12 intelligence, 12 wisdom, and 8 charisma.
That's a pretty good character. Like, it's a pretty solid role. It's not crazy, but it's a pretty solid.
Yeah, I lost this one. This guy seems fine. I'm not laughing at all about his stats. I mean, his low strength is kind of funny, but I mean, Kevin really swept that round.
Oh
dear. It is pretty strongly average.
Yeah. He's very
Which is,
middle of the road.
Honestly, par for the course for the podcast, par for the course for our personalities, par for the course for our sex lives.
Yeah.
Let's make it more interesting. Hold on.
Okay.
I can't imagine how.
The damn. The highest score that you can get in D&D as a base is 18, and the lowest is, I believe, an 8, and we already have 1 8.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have you guys roll off, and you get to choose whether you want to put an 18 or an 8 as one of these stats.
That's nice.
You can replace any of them.
I like this. All right.
This is super powerful. And once again, I got a 3.
I got a 7. I've had so many 7s.
My rolls have been terrible.
Your rolls have been terrible.
So do you want another 8 or do you want an 18?
I mean, I'm gonna put an 18 on the strength, right? I'm gonna make him. I'm gonna counterbalance. I'm gonna take that 8, get rid of it. I'm sorry, Thomas. I have to make a serious, a good character. I have to make the neutered something to be rivaled with and not trifled with.
What was his first name again?
Cassius.
Cassius the
neutered. It's Cashew?
No. God, no. This is what happens on What We Do in the Basement all the time. Is I give a character a serious name, and then the cast just chooses to.
We mishear it, and
can't remember it. Yeah.
Thomas, what stat besides strength do you want to replace with an 8?
I guess it's got to be con. Let's make him a frail. He's a glass cannon. Or should I say a glass Nikon? To kind of call back.
Damn.
Yeah.
I used to know this guy whose name was Nikon.
There's no time.
And he used to hit on women by telling them he liked the shape of their skulls. Go ahead.
I mean, that's I think that's pretty much it. I mean, we could add some personality traits or something, but I think we've got our character.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's say that he's a phrenologist, like the guy Kevin just described. That's sort of his backstory. He measures skull sizes to determine the inherent value of different people and different creatures.
It's really problematic.
Right.
He does fantasy race science.
So he's like, but it is about like the races and classes of the D&D creatures. So
when
he's
in D&D, race science is sort of true. Like the races actually have genetic differences that are meaningful.
Yeah, critical race theory. I study that all the time when I'm with my employer's handbook.
Critical hit theory.
That's pretty good.
Problematic.
Yeah.
I like it.
This is fun. I mean, we'll see what kind of adventures Cassius the Neutered gets into.
Yeah. Maybe there's a reason why he's called Cassius the Neutered that has to do with his interest in phrenology.
Yeah.
This is a horrible character.
This honestly sucks. You guys fucked it up. It's hard to combat. I think it's so easy in D&D to dip into the absurd, silly, goofy, dumb bits. I feel like it's like an easy part of the fun of the game.
I don't think what I do is easy. I don't think anything that I do is easy.
Yeah, all Kevin has to do is write an intense story.
Yeah.
You know how?
And I'm showing up week after week, half listening, responding to emails when it's not my turn during combat.
Right.
sort of.
Every now and then you'll sort of respond to an email that is relevant to something else that we're working on together. Sort of
you can tell.
I sort of. You don't even really hide it, which is weird and tough, sort of.
Yikes.
Great.
And you would like.
I see why. I now see why you kind of left that podcast.
Yeah.
Oh no. The burden I've been carrying all these years. Let's maybe do one more segment, guys.
I think we could hit the wheel.
That was a great submission.
Awesome.
I'm glad. Well, we'll talk about this later. I'll talk about it at the end. We're gonna do an audience segment. Here we go. Woo!
What are we doing?
Okay, we have got Bottom of the Horror Barrel by Char Aznable. So Hell on a Shelf. This is a real movie. Hell on a Shelf is about a murderous elf on a shelf toy in a cabin that kills people who are naughty, clearly running out of ideas. What is a horror movie you would make that is clearly a result looking for ideas in the worst possible place? Some backstory to this segment by our friend Luke.
I see. Okay. Because this is like a trend now, right? There's
what's like the most derivative, just pulling from the latest topical meme bullshit that could be a horror movie premise.
I think I've got something here. It would be in the vein of those do you guys remember those Unfriended horror movies? They were they were done through like Zoom call horror movies.
I actually heard those were pretty good by Jonah.
Oh, really?
Who is a film professor.
Yeah.
Someone was like, Unfriended Dark Web is kind of a good horror movie. Anyway, go on.
What the hell? Okay.
Yeah.
So I think maybe a TikTok focused horror, something that is it starts recording you, and then whatever the TikTok window is of time, however long a video can be, that's how long you have to live. Something
she did the okay boomer dance 7 days ago and now she's dead.
Sort of I guess it could be like the Grimace Shake thing, but for real.
This is pretty good. Oh yeah. Or and it's the killer's voice is that robot voice that they use on TikTok. It's
that
POV when you're going to die. And it's what? Oh my God.
Everything you've done wrong in your life is coming to a head today. Yeah. I like that. I like that. That's sort of my thought.
Is there a specific TikTok trend? I mean, the Grimace one is good. Connor, are you on TikTok?
Are you a TikToker?
I am not.
Yeah,
you have ADD and you're not. That's like being I love opioids, but I won't try heroin. It's fucking enjoy it, man.
Yeah. That's Kara too, though. She also is not. She doesn't use TikTok, but now all of the apps are TikTok, right? Instagram Reels are just TikTok.
True.
Facebook Reels are YouTube. It's all TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I fall into the scroll hole too much. Just downloading TikTok is enabling heroin use.
Yeah. That's a pretty good title, though. The Scroll Hole.
Yeah. That's sort of and just to be clear, that's sort of a room that you have in your DMing room where you it's a small little cavern with a bunch of old papers. Parchment papers that are sort of rolled up that you sort of stimulate yourself with, right?
Yeah. That's accurate.
He had to think about it for a second, but yes. Yep. The answer ultimately was yeah.
So that you have all the details right.
I can't lie.
Yeah. So when you fall into the scroll hole, is there a specific type of
what's the algorithm know about you? What does it think you like?
Oh, I mean, a lot of reels about promiscuous magical scrolls.
Okay. Okay. Surprisingly relevant to the scroll hole. Yeah. I
can't help myself.
I guess.
It knows me well.
Yeah, the algorithm knows you well.
I'm getting big into unfurling TikTok. I just can't get enough of these things.
Instead of unfriended, it's unfurling.
Unfurlong. Good. Okay, so we have a title, The Scroll Hole.
Yeah.
We have a premise, The TikTok Demon. We need one more thing, a tagline. I feel like we need what's the secret? What's the way they overcome the monster? What's the social satire here? Yeah.
Ooh. So sorry. Is it once you do the dance, you die in a couple days? Is that like
I think maybe that the act of doom scrolling kind of like takes you
doom
over.
Doom scrolling is a really good title.
So once you see a specific reel, you just can't stop. You have to keep going through.
Here it is. Here's the tagline. Here's how we do this. We call the movie Doom Scrolling. It's about being sort of possessed with TikTok. And the tagline is, "Don't fall into the scroll hole."
Nice.
Of course.
Yeah.
But
and then
how do they get out of the scroll hole?
Yeah. Do they have to like hope that the algorithm shows them a different reel?
I think they fucking go outside and touch grass, brother.
Right.
Yeah.
They go to the dang park and they toss the frisbee around. And there was no demon. The demon was inside them all along. And the I Like Turtle kids, he was the demon as well.
As well.
He sort of plays
it was in them, but it was also...
We hire the I Like Turtle kids to play the monster villain.
Oh my god, that would sell so many tickets if we had the I Like Turtles kid in the trailer.
He did it for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
He did?
Yeah.
So he's available then. This is good.
Right.
Yeah, he's actively working in movie trailers.
Well, that's good to hear. That's good
beautiful.
to hear. Connor, is there anything that you want to point the people to? Now's the chance to let people know if anything's happening in your life that you want other eyes on.
Oh, I mean, I guess just keep an eye on when I get tagged as a photographer and stuff.
keep an eye on when. It. So you don't want them to follow your photography work. You just want them to pay attention to if you get tagged.
Yeah, that works for me. That works for me.
Okay, yeah. If you're a Winnipegger and you need somebody to snap a photo, reach out to Connor. He's great. Yeah. If you're sitting at home, Connor, do you have your phone with you? I know that you listen to the show. Have you rated and reviewed our shows yet?
You're not gonna like this. I can change the 1 star.
Brother, I haven't liked 1 minute of this. This episode sucked. Why don't you go rate and review 5 stars, oops, all segments. If you're listening, you can do it at home. If you're my mom, I'm really glad I insulted you at the beginning so that you turned it off before the D&D stuff started.
Yeah,
I do apologize to my mama. I had a lovely visit with you. Happy birthday. Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, it's also her birthday.
So grateful for you and all that you do. Yeah. You can also check out Kevin's other show, What We Do in the Basement, featuring totally sincere Dungeons and Dragons. No bits to speak of.
No bits, no comedy, no nothing. I guess now, because I feel like I have to do it, Happy Mother's Day to my mom. I love you.
Doesn't hurt.
I cooked my mom dinner.
Very nice.
And I guess, if you're in Winnipeg, check out the Antipodes, May 29th to June 2nd. Tickets are at the28thminute, the28thminute.com. And there it is. Connor's done the right thing. Act like you know better. Do the right thing. And, live your best life. We will see you folks later. This has been Oops All Segments.
Thomas is a butt. 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 Thomas is a butt.